The jab is the most fundamental strike in martial arts. It shows up in every single striking art. The reason being, the lead hand is the closest weapon. It's our longest weapon that doesn't involve kicking, so we don't have to come up on one leg. It's very natural. We're always used to extending our hands away and everything else. So it's good for offense, it's good for defense. You will see the jab used at the most beginning stages of fighting and the highest levels of fighting from now to the end of time. And there's no way to get around it. It's just one of the true fundamentals. So that said, we want to spend a lot of time developing this weapon that is so useful and so versatile across different domains. So we're hanging out in our stance. There's a million different ways to vary a jab or vary any individual punch. So once again, we want to give you a good baseline way of starting with things. And so I prefer to have a jab that is a little more defensive at first and that doesn't involve giving our weight to our opponent. So if we were to step into our jab, our weight would be shifting forward and that creates more of a collision with our opponent. So I'm looking at more of a defensive jab. So the first thing I want to master is my weight's going to be about 60% on my lead leg. I'm just going to extend my leg a little and you're going to see this slight shift back. So my rear leg is receiving about 20% of my weight. So I go from 60% on the lead leg, I shift back to 60% on the rear leg. So it's just this nice little shift. It almost looks as if someone came up behind me and just tugged at the back of my shirt. So they're just pulling me away. And then for my jab, we're gonna try to take advantage of that natural human reaction. If somebody surprised me and was coming at me, I would wanna lean back and create space to buy myself more time for reaction, and then also stiff arm away to create the longest structure that I can to buy myself space. So our jab is going to take advantage of that natural reaction. So the only thing that's going to be different is as I shift back, I'm going to use a fist to deliver a blow at the end of the punch. So my thumb is up, the jab originates and comes back to the same point. So my weight shifts. As that happened, my thumb comes straight out. You can notice my thumb is staying up, so my elbow stays inside the line of my shoulder. Towards the end of the punch, I rotate and expose the striking surface. The more I rotate, the more my shoulder protects my own jawline, and the more it puts my first two knuckles on target. So I'm here, thumb up, lean back, jab out, come home. Jab out, come home. Jab out, come home. So one of the things I'm always looking at with students is that their elbow isn't popping out. So if you watch from behind, so my jab is staying tucked away. Boom, boom. The other thing that you'll notice, especially as individuals get fatigued, they'll raise their elbow and do what we call hammering the nail. It looks like swinging a hammer. Keeping that elbow down allows us to drive power through the shoulder. Boom. When that shoulder, which is the bigger muscle than the bicep and tricep, is doing the work, you're gonna get more of a snap, you're gonna get a faster punch. So that's the basic mechanics of the jab. We can do the same thing, southpaw, 60-40, thumb up, lean back and jab, lean back and jab, lean back and jab. So that's our jab right there.